I've got a Raiders hat on, Las Vegas Raiders. I like the NFL, but I'm an Eagles fan. The Raiders are kind of my second team. You know what I mean? I believe the fans, certainly when they were on the West Coast in San Francisco, were very passionate. Oakland, I think, wasn't it, in California. Terrible fires going on in California at the moment. Of course, it's got nothing to do with climate change. Anyway, I digress because today I'm talking about eating. I've done a podcast on diet, which you can go back and check out if you're interested in changing diets. But just a few observations. It's going to be a very short one. Um, Humans were programmed to be able to eat a lot of food because we know in the past, in nature, we might not have always known when our next meal was coming. We were also programmed to like sugar, and we didn't get much of it in nature, maybe from fruits and things like that. Now we can access sugar everywhere and it's put in everywhere because our taste buds like it. Now, if you get a piece of chocolate, which for me is the most amazing food in the world, even though I don't really eat it anymore, and put it on your tongue and just know that sensation. It's a really nice sensation. However, if you actually focus on what's happening and saying, okay, what's going on in my mouth, and you can reduce it to absolute absurdity, and you can probably do that with most human activities. And this is what mindfulness is. Do you reckon smokers, a lot of smokers stop smoking because people who are mindful train them and say, what are you doing when you're breathing it in? You're taking a deep breath. So your body likes the deep breath. Why don't you just take a deep breath anyway without taking on board the cigarette that causes all these problems? And then you say to people what's happening. So you're breathing it in, and then nicotine goes into your blood and gives you a little high, a little addicted high. And then you want more of it. And if you reduce things to their absurdities, it can help you to regulate and control and think about what you do, which doesn't mean that the signals are not powerful. If you're a smoke addict, addicted to smoking, or you've got a sweet tooth, or you want sugar, it's a very, very powerful sensation. So I'm going to talk about some of the issues that I've found. I'm quite tall and athletic. I've never really had problems with my weight, but I have had problems with my health, and I found diet going gluten-free in particularly useful for managing a chronic illness. But I do try to eat healthily and avoid nonsense. In my late 30s, I started getting these headaches from having sugar. I was eating far too much sugar after my tea. My evening meal, I'd eat loads of sugar. It was ridiculous. And I'm kind of glad my body said, right, I don't like that, stop it, because it's doing me favors in the long term. So there you go. I'm going to talk about mindful eating. Now, mindful eating means sitting down for your meal without any other stimulus and maybe sitting with other people and eating your food slowly and chewing it and appreciating it and thinking, this is nice. People don't tend to do that now because we're all rushing around. The kids might eat at different times. Family, people are at work doing shifts, etc., etc. Think of a million reasons. You need to wind down or whatever. I'm not saying that we should be doing that mindful eating all the time, but let's try and do that a bit if you're not doing it. Now, one of the things is try to make sure that you've chewed your food before you swallow it. And think about it when you're eating something nice. There's a party saying, get it down, you quick. There's going to be a tiger coming or another human's going to come and steal your food, which is how we evolved. But when you put food in your mouth, try not to put too much in your mouth and try and eat it mindfully and slowly because then you'll feel more full as the food settles slowly. So, for example, if you're ever having a big meal, if you have a little break, the food settles and then you can come back and eat a bit more, but you feel a bit more full. So try to eat slowly and mindfully. That's the way of the world these days, that we try to eat quick and we've got that programming, but trying to eat mindfully, turn it into an actual enjoyable experience and actually savor the food. And it's not easy if your programming is not like that. But try to work on that and develop it as you are eating, and you'll feel better about eating and you'll enjoy it more. And don't feel guilty when you don't do that all the time, but just try and increase the chances where you go, this food's amazing. It's really helped me to live. It's medicine. It's sustenance. Also, think about where the foods come from. Like, are you eating good foods? Are you appreciative of it? Try and enjoy your food and just savor it as much as possible. And we need to bear in mind all the food companies, they run the world, governments are terrified of them. And ultra-processed foods, they're designed to make you feel like you want more, and they're designed to get you to keep eating. And you need to know that the system is rigged, and you need to make sure that you buy food that you want. Now, if you live with others, it's hard because they'll want food and it'll be there in the house. But the ideal thing to do is to not have it in your house at all if you don't want to eat it long term. Yeah, you open the cupboard, there's an Easter egg, smash it, you feel like stuff in your face. But if the Easter egg's not there, you can't do that. Another thing you can do if you live with others is have separate cupboards for all the crap and stick all the crap in there. And you know that your cupboard has not got crap in that you can see. Studies have been done showing that if you don't look at it, you won't eat it. Okay? Now, again, there's genetic factors. Some people put on weight. Some people can eat a horse and not put on weight. And we know that, again, the system's rigged with all that. But what can we do to manage what we eat? I'll just give you a few ideas. Now, my journey, I've spoken about in the diet podcast, but I've tried the things that I've just done. But I'm going to give you one which I find really, really useful. Over Christmas, I ate a bit more than I usually do, and I had a little bit of sugar on some days, just a small amount, so don't get me headaches. And I felt that I was eating more and I wanted more. I could see it working in my head, like, that was nice, that. Now, I have in my fridge a big bag of carrots and a cucumber. And my son has little bits of it because he eats those. I mean, mum and dad, who we live with, they sometimes use the carrots in their cooking. Big bag of carrots, huge bag of carrots. And I'll tell you this for none. If you open a little tub of hummus and get a carrot, a big carrot like that, clean it or whatever, cut the ends off, and you dip that in and eat the hummus, that's nice. And that carrot will fill you up. Now, you might not need the hummus, you might just eat the carrot by itself. That will fill you up. Your stomach will say, right, I'm feeling full because you just had a huge carrot. You can use that as a hack to stop you wanting to eat the sugar, the crap, all the nonsense. Another thing I do is before I have a meal, I have a couple of pints of water. Now, I've heard that water can wash out the nutrients from food and all that, and I get all that. But I have 2 pints before, and then after my first course, I have another pint and a herbal tea. And I feel like I want less to eat then for dessert, which I have a small, healthy, relatively healthy dessert, nuts, yogurt, fruit, things like that. So when you're feeling those pangs, like I need to eat something, like a rice cake or nuts, maybe another alternative, get a carrot and get some cucumber in and eat them because they will fill your stomach up. And if you say, oh, I don't like carrots and I don't like cucumber, find something that you do like, okay? Get them in if it means that your health is going to be better long term. You actually feel better in the short term because when you eat all the rubbish, you feel terrible afterwards. Terrible. And the guilt and all that, which makes it even worse, apparently. Get stuff in that you can eat that is healthy. And if you're going to eat vegetables, it's a win-win. You don't need to be eating loads and loads of fruit because of the sugars, but if you eat vegetables, it's a win-win-win. So that's my little hack for you. When you're eating food, going back to that chocolate example, it's a bit like the Matrix, in it? Like where that guy says, oh, that steak, I know it's fake, but I like the taste of it. And when you're eating food, the sensations we feel when we eat food is our body trying to get things in us. Okay, it uses the mouth to go and like certain responses to go, yeah, let's keep this person alive by making it pleasurable for them. That pleasure needs to serve you. If it's not serving you, you need to do something about it. So that's a little bit about health. Check out my previous diet podcast. Hope you've had a nice Christmas. You probably hear this in late January or maybe even early February. But if you're not happy with your food, consult a dietitian. Go through the NHS if necessary, your GPs. But if you're not happy with your diet, do something about it. Take the initiative, get curious, and try things. Thank you.